What is up, everybody? Welcome back to RacingJuices.com, and welcome to our first Kentucky Derby Top 5 rankings for the 2024 Kentucky Derby. Well, right after the Breeders' Cup, you go on to the Derby. That's how horse racing works. The build-up to the Kentucky Derby starts now, and we're going to go through our top 5 this year. These will certainly change a million times through now, from now to the first Saturday in May, but we're here to rank them out. All right, let's get to it now. I'm going to go with a little bit of a flyer at number 5 just to not be so boring and just list the top 5 juvenile horses from the Breeders' Cup Juvenile, I should say. Number 5, I went with Heartland for Bob Baffert. This horse's race just once. It was a nice-looking win, a really solid win. We haven't seen him since. I don't really know what's going on with him. Sometimes when they debut early and then they have a little time off, then they come back, they're fresh and ready. So I'm not, really worried about it yet. We do need to see a workout from him soon. But let's talk about Heartland for a second here. This horse is by Justify, who's having a really, really nice run as a sire so far. He's really doing fantastic. So, the horse by Justify here, I think he's going to be a pretty good one. He was really good on debut for Baffert. We'll just see if we see him anytime soon. So number 5 to start our list will be Justify. Number 4 is going to be the Wine Steward. I thought this was a really interesting horse coming into the Breeders' Cup. He ran second, which was the first loss of his career last time out in the Breeders' Futurity to Locked. I kind of think this horse, as the distances get longer, he's going to get better and better. I almost thought he ran one of the better races of any of the juveniles before the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. Unfortunately, had to scratch out of the race, something minor. I think he'll be fine going forward. So I'm looking for the Wine Steward to make some noise. I've got him at number 4. Well, I mentioned the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. We'll get a little bit boring with the top 3 here, but I just think they are the top 3, at least at this point. And the third place finisher of the Breeders' Cup Juvenile will be the number 3 horse on our debut list. That is Locked. We're watching it live. I didn't think Locked ran very well. You watch it back. I just think it took him a while to get going. He didn't really like the situation. He did not really like, maybe the surface. He just didn't look real comfortable. So I think he showed a lot in this race to not kind of give up and to kind of come flying late. Obviously non-threatening third, but I think he'll move forward off the race. I think don't give up on him just yet. Number 3 is going to be Locked for me. I thought he ran okay. Number 2 is Muth on my list. And look, we have the Bob Baffert thing to deal with again, and we'll see what happens with all his horses, as he's not allowed to run in the Kentucky Derby, and so it just gets old. But anyway, with Muth, I was skeptical. I thought he was a good horse. But if, you listen to our live stuff or, podcasts or whatever leading up to it, I thought Muth was good. I wasn't sure if he was like a great horse or one of Baffert's former Breeders' Cup Juvenile winners where it's just like, yeah, he's a standout. I thought he ran probably better than I thought he would in the Juvenile. I think I would filter that under that's a tough loss for Muth because he ran a winning race. He was a clear second. He did not threaten the winner, who we'll talk about in a second, but he ran pretty darn good. So I think Muth at number 2, he proved a lot, even in a loss, to me, that he's a pretty nice horse. But the number 1 horse, and I don't even think it's close after what he did at the Juvenile, Fierceness for Todd Pletcher. Of course, he won the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. He earns a 105 buyer, and boy, it looked it. Like, he turned for home. And if I thought Muth ran well, Fierceness just left him in the dust. I mean, this was an incredible effort for Fierceness. And if you remember his win at Saratoga, his maiden special weight win, debut win, that was our highest rated maiden special weight win at Saratoga all year. The Champagne, too hard to believe. I mean, he was just awful, something terrible in that Champagne. He just quit. He didn't run. And he came back here at Santa Anita and he just dominated this field. So Fierceness, easy number 1 for me right now. Does that hold all the way to the Kentucky Derby? Hey, he's got a ton of things he's going to have to do for us to think he's going to win the Kentucky Derby. But I'm going to tell you, a 105 buyer as a 2-year-old, let's say he progresses, that's going to be a horse that's going to be really tough to beat in Kentucky. But a lot of times when you pop that high of a buyer as a 2-year-old, you might regress as you get towards the Kentucky Derby. So we'll kind of see. We'll keep an eye on that. But number 1 for this week is Fierceness. All right, we'll go through them here. Number 5, Heartland. Number 4, the Wine Steward. Number 3, Locked. Number 2, Muth. And number 1 on our list after that 105 buyer in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile will be Fierceness. All right, that'll do it for our first top 5 Kentucky Derby video of the season. We'll be back each and every week updating this top 5 list. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Hit that like button if you like it. Hit subscribe. You really like it. Want to get alerted anytime we do videos like this. and we will see you guys for the next one.